My name is Smanga Sanga, and I would like to thank Juliet for opening such a great opportunity for young people like us, especially uh, young female, to come together and discuss their challenges, and discuss their experiences, and most importantly, uh, discuss their successes. Thank you so much, Juliet, for making this happen, and your other colleagues. Thank you so much. As I said, my name is Smanga Sanga, and I'm here in KZN. I was born in KZN. I'm a business person myself. I had a conversation with Juliet before I was brought into this conversation. So my topic is ways in which young people can thrive in business environment. So I will be discussing many things. I'll be putting things in one pot, be it meat, be it veggies. I'll be putting it in one pot because that's how my life, as my personal life, and also as a business person, has been for quite a long time now. And that's how life is. Sometimes life does not come into steps. Sometimes life surprises you where you think where you think I've got it now. But what is important is that we persist and we do not give in or just give out. So it's very important that we hold on to what we believe in, and that we believe in ourselves in every step of challenge that we definitely face in the way. So I'll start. I told Juliet that I will be speaking about my experience as a young person, because I'm not a female, but as a young person, I'll be speaking about my experience and how I grew up, and how I started my first business, and what was my first business to begin with. Um, I'll start there. So I started when I was doing grade 9. It was a non-profit organization whereby I assembled uh, quite a few of young people in our community here in Smanga, in Durban. And we started this organization because I knew it was a traditional dance, sort of a traditional dance, a Zulu traditional dance. So when I started this organization, it was passion at first, but we ended up making a lot of money from that organization. Unfortunately, after matric, I had to go to university and I had to abandon that organization at that point in time. And I studied finance and supply chain at University of KZN. Then I continued with finance, but between those years, those were the most challenging years for me, because when I was doing, it was third year. That's when I started my second business, and Juliet was laughing at me out loud. I told her that I was selling chips. I told her that I was a specialist. I was a chips specialist. If you don't know what types of chips I was selling Nickness. And my profit margin was only 50% at the time. Then because that business was taking a lot of my time, because people would come late at night, because students study up until 2 in the morning, up until 4 in the morning. So I then continued to start my other business whereby I was selling muffins. I was the only guy at UKZN Westville who was selling muffins. The only guy, because that's why I was named Muffin Guy, Muffin Man, all those words. There I was making 100% profit margin. I then pursued another business. I started I called it SP Tech Academy. That was official. Then from what I've explained so far, the first business which I started when I was in grade 9 was registered, but my chips business and my muffins business was not registered. I just only had Facebook what do you call that? I don't know what you call them, but just Facebook, whereby people can access me. But my fourth business, which I opened, whereby I was teaching students, was SPTech. I was educating students around Westville. There I was making a lot of money, and I was earning around 30,000 per month as a student at UKZN. While juggling my studies together with my with my honors, because that's when I started that business, when I was doing my honors. I then went forth, ventured with my brother while I was still operating this business. Ventured with my brother to open a business, which was I also with partnership with UNISA. That business is currently in existence. Unfortunately, my brother passed away. We started two businesses together, and also this other business which we also started was whereby it's SS Project and Facilitation, whereby I'm currently the managing director of that business and the chief financial officer of this other business where there's partnership with UNISA. So it may sound all fun and rosy when I explain all this business which I started with other people, with my brother. It was very difficult. What I learned, firstly, what I learned is that you have to take each and every opportunity that comes your way. Some would say, Smanga, you're not a teacher, you're not educated. How come you started a company where you are teaching people? I said, no, I know I'm not a teacher, but I will learn how to teach. There's this famous motivational speaker who would say, it's better to be ready for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity but not being ready. So I always take that notion, that saying with me every time. So if any opportunity would emerge right now that I have to do this, some would say, Smanga, you're money driven. I'm not money driven, but I'm all about entrepreneurship because I also I loved business studies. I loved business management. While I know they were my electives, but I loved those modules because they taught me about business. They taught me how to persist and how to persevere in the midst of challenges. So that is my first lesson, that one should be ready for any opportunity, rather be ready than to be not ready. That is the first notion. That is one of the most important things that I would usually do. So secondly, I would be motivated mainly because sometimes I would bring about change. I love changing people's life. So that's why I started my first book. I love to teach so much. I don't know why I did not go into teaching because I love it, but I also love entrepreneurship. So it's very important that you do something that you're passionate about. I was not expecting at all to be making that kind of an amount, but because of that passion, because at that time, that was a huge amount for me because I was a student, because of the passion that I had at the time for teaching, for assisting, for helping people. That is why I started that non-profit organization in the first place. So it's very important that you do something that you're passionate about. If you do something that you're passionate about, you won't feel like you are working hard. Even though you're working hard, you won't feel the pain because to work is not easy. When you're working, some people hate Mondays because they're usually tiring and so forth. When you're working and do something that you love, you're passionate about, you do not feel the pain of tirelessness. You do not feel the pain of being tired. You don't feel the pain at all. But when you're doing something that you're passionate about, you do it with passion, without being tired at all. So that's number two. But one would say, oh, Smanga, You did a lot of things, but you said you're passionate about teaching. What about the other businesses that you started? Some of the businesses which I started with my brother, they were driven by my brother, because my brother said, you know what, let's start this business. The UNISA business, or the partnership with UNISA, that one, it had to deal with students. That's why I said, my brother, just venture into this one. You can make a lot of money and see what you can do. In the first 2 years, we were paying rent. The rent was 3.5 every month. We were paying rent, and sometimes we would run out of money. I would take some of my NSF's money and would assemble the money and try and pay rent. My brother had a car which we're using for business. While I was still a student, by the way, because he was doing most of the work, because he quit his job to venture into this. He said, I will work full time, continue with your studies. I'll come to your residence and you will assist me there and there. You'll do my financials for me because you did accounting, you did finance. You'll help me there and there where I need your assistance. But in the daily operations of the business, I will be available. So it was a lot of pressure and a lot of challenges when it's come to paying rent and having to pay for telecom and other daily operating expenses. It was very difficult. I then, when I finished my degree, I then did honors where I was doing my SP Tech business. I then applied for work because I wanted to get experience in the finance field, because I wanted to be a CFA. My brother said, I would manage the businesses. You go. He appointed me. He says, Smanga, you have to come and work full time now. I said, no, I'm not coming. You just do that. You're running the business smoothly and you're doing it very well. What I will do for now, I'll go maybe for 1 year or 2 years, get an experience in the finance field. Then I learned a lot in the finance industry. I couldn't. It's not for me to work for people. That's what I learned in those 6 months. I love finance. I love the experience there. The people were great and everything. I learned a lot in those 6 months. Unfortunately, my brother passed away after 6 months. I had to go and manage the businesses myself and be full time. That's why I'm now the managing director of the businesses. There are many challenges, especially with the COVID. I'm in the construction sector with SS Project. I'm in the education sector with SPK. My other SP Tech business is currently on hold because of the COVID, but we are operating well and we are picking up everything. But what I can say as a young person, that if you want to succeed in life, not only in life but in business, you have to take the opportunity that you are given, grab it with both hands, and make the best out of it. That is the most important thing, because you'll find that you are approached by different people. All the people, like all young people, want to be employed, and they want to start small, start businesses. It's very important to start small, because I'm applying what I've learned while I was selling knickknacks, while I was selling muffins, while I was teaching students with SP Tech. That experience, now I'm managing people, and that is very difficult on its own. If I hadn't gone through that process, I was talking to my other friend yesterday, telling him that we must trust the face, must put trust in the face. We do not have to jump phases. And if my peers are more successful than me for now, I will be happy for them. But I know where I'm going. This is the most important. I know where I'm going. I know my goals, and I know what I'm aiming for. So it's very important to like Juliet, for example. Tomorrow you'll be chairing the biggest meetings of biggest companies, maybe your own company. But you've started with us small young people. I'm sorry if I said you're small, but I take myself as a very small person. I'm still learning. I'm still going to learn in the future. So it's very important to trust the process Make sure you learn, you take the best out of it from these small things or from these small phases that we are currently going through. So if I hadn't learned how to calculate my profit margin when I was selling chips, I realized because I was a student, so I was consuming or eating those chips a packet per week. By only going back to the calculations, so what is wrong? Why am I not making enough? So it's very important that I learned that you have to be aware and be vigilant enough to know your financials. Go through them so that you understand how much you're making, what are your daily operating costs, what is this and that. Then when I was selling muffins, I realized there was so much time that I was putting in, that I was investing into the business. But the investment time that I'm investing in the business was not equal to what I was supposed to be making. Then I said it's very important. I learned something new. It's very important that I add some labor force, whereby I partnered with some other very inspirational young woman. She was baking. We took turns. She was baking. I was selling, and I was selling. She was baking, and that minimized the time that was consumed by baking. And I was making enough money as well. So you learn as you grow. That is the most important thing. Like, I don't know what example can I make. Like, for instance, an orange. When you squeeze that orange, take that orange as those small steps that we go through in life, or those opportunities that we get. I just squeeze that first opportunity until it is dry, and that has taught me a lot of things. And I'm using the smallest. No one sat down with me and taught me, Smanga, you have to do this and that. No one gave me guidance. We are lucky today. We are learning from these young people. We are lucky today. We are learning from such amazing speakers. But back in those times, no one taught me anything. My only guidance was YouTube, how to bake, how to calculate the profit margin, and how to do this and that. That was my guidance. No person stood by me. No person was guiding me step by step and how to this and how to do that. So it's very important that each and every opportunity that comes your way, you squeeze it with both hands. You make sure you get the best juices out of it. This is one of the most important things. Yeah, that's mostly about it. I won't be long. So it's very important that we use every opportunity that we are given, and we identify those opportunities. And when we are identifying them, we make the best use out of them. I don't know. I'm not so much of a speaker, and even if I sit with my colleagues, I don't speak that much. I don't like meetings, but I sit down with them and discuss challenges and how to solve those challenges, and so forth. That's how I am. I'm not so much of a speaker, but what I've said so far, someone would or even that one person would grab that smallest thing and learn from it and maybe apply it, because we learn from each other definitely. And that's how life is. We learn from each other's mistakes, we learn from each other's successes and challenges and so forth. Thank you so much, Juliet and colleagues. You may ask questions if you want to ask some questions. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Smanga. This was really inspiring as a young entrepreneur who started with nothing and uh, have built a life out of themselves. This is really motivating and inspiration to us as well who are just starting. So, on the financial part, what advice can you give these young entrepreneurs or just young, the youth who have ideas in their mind but they are not ready to take action? So, what advice can you give this youth
I,
or
I,
young people?
Thank you so much for that question, Juliet. I would say that there are two different young people here. There's a young person who wants to go and work. Another young person who wants to start a business. I will be very short for the person who wants to go and work. What I've realized in the finance sector, our parents did. Uh, some would say they did enough because of the historical and what challenges that they've been facing. But I would say for me, it's very important if you are working, the first thing that you must start doing, you must start investing. There's something called a retirement annuity. Start putting that money away because when you are 55 years old, you'll need that money because according to the stat, we live up to 8 years here in South Africa, approximately. Start saving, putting that RA, it's called RA, retirement annuity, and you will after when you're 55 years old, you live for more years up until you're 8 years old. Then investment, when you're working, the day that month when you start working, start making those arrangements. Then you make investments. Then you take life policies. And those policies, they assist. You don't have to save for your children. You just have a life policy aside, paying from as little as 500 rands a month. Many companies, Old Mutual, Discovery, and other many companies, Liberty, they help you. So you invest 500 rands a month. You find that amount when you are deceased, it's 5 million. Your dependent, or you make them your beneficiary. They they get to not suffer like we did. So it's very important to save, invest for you, do that for that RA investments. But for life policies, it's very important that you put it away, and there comes with medical aid and gap covers and so forth. When you want to get, when you want to, even when you get into entrepreneurship, it was difficult to have debit orders every month. But sometimes, like for example, I'm waiting for 5 invoices as we speak. They have not materialized as yet. I'm waiting for them because of the Easter holidays. They've been interrupted. So it's very important that we learn from that. I'm an entrepreneur for now, so why I'm an entrepreneur, so it's difficult to have those debit orders. So that's why when I get money, I put money away to a separate account whereby there's debit those important savings, investment, and so forth. So when we want to get into business, you should not be afraid. Like look at myself. I'm not working for anyone. I quit work in 2019. I can feed my every family is dependent on me. I feed my family. I have investments. I have so forth. So it's very important that you take the opportunity. As I was saying, squeeze that opportunity. Obviously, you don't just take any risk, but you take calculated risk. It's very important that when you see a gap, they will normally say in entrepreneurship that you must find or identify a gap. When you see that gap, you fill that gap, and that gap is called the opportunity. You squeeze it with both hands. You make sure that you make the best out of it. The best out of it. Do not be scared. And yeah, some people they work while they become entrepreneurs. They call it side hustle. During their spare time, they are entrepreneurs while they are working. That person took a minimum risk because there is definitely money coming into the business. But when you see that a business is becoming more and more successful and need your maximum attention, then you may have to leave work. Like for me, okay, I found it very difficult. I have different meetings, back-to-back meetings, almost every day. I cannot work at the same time, an 8 to 5 job while I'm running a business. Despite that, I have to be in Pietermaritzburg. I have to be in a certain place. I can't do everything at once. So it's very important. I then took a decision or made a decision that I'm leaving work, I'll be a full-time entrepreneur. Thanks, Juliet.
Thank you so much. That is motivating. And then the last question that I have for you is that uh, last time as we were discussing about these people who now want to take action about the financial part. So how do you advise them to get fundings if they have a really or an idea that they want to take to action, but they don't have money to go through the idea or to start this entrepreneurship business, or they've no idea how to start. They're just thinking about money, they're just thinking about fundings in order to take action. So what is the measures or the necessary platforms or anything that can help them to get this funding in order to make a difference?
There are government institutions, Juliet, that provide funding for different especially young people, especially females, more especially people that are disabled. I forgot this other because it's called SDA, or it's called SDA or something like that. But I'll write it on the chat. I'll look for it just now because my brother works there. He works in the government institution. So they provide funding for young people, even those businesses. They make it like I know I have a friend who has a business, who works. You know those tables that you see in the road. He makes 3,000 a month, 3,000 a week, not even a month, 3,000 a week per table. Just a week per table. He's only selling fruit and vegetables, and also a bit of fast food. 3,000 a week. And he has 4 tables. How much is he making per month? So they fund those kind of businesses. And you normally have to get a permit. And the permit is 250. I think it's 250 here in Durban, particularly in Smanga. It's 250 per, I don't know how long does it last. I think a year or something. Those businesses, yeah, as I was saying, people look down on those businesses, but they make a lot of money. You don't have to work there yourself, but you can hire a person that you can look after your business while you visit other or exploring other businesses as well. And there are also loans, but I don't suggest loans because you find that the business is not successful and you owe the bank, because they normally charge. They normally tell you that you're borrowing the money, but when the business cannot pay back the money, they will take it from your personal capacity. But sometimes there are agreements whereby when the business fails, the business will be held accountable. Also, you may thirdly you may approach other business people where they can assist. Like myself, I have this young person who recently approached me. He wants us to start a business, and it will make approximately 30,000 per month. And I said, no problem. Do you have people that you can start with? He said, yes. And I told him, please explain the business to me and how it makes profit and so forth. And how did you discover that there's demand in that area? And we had quite a lengthy conversation regarding that. And we'll be operating before the end of this month. So you find that you approach other people who are business minded or would like to, that you can see that they love business, they love entrepreneurship, and they definitely invest. They definitely invest. I'm telling you. So far, for me, luckily, when we started with my brother, we started very small. Fortunately enough, the other business made money, and these businesses funded each other. But there was a point whereby we needed around 100K, where SS project needed 100K. We wanted to start on a certain project. Just the injection amount in that project needed 100K, 100,000. So we borrowed from a friend. Fortunately enough, we had a friend who was so kind to borrow us that money, and that's how SS project started, by the way. And it made a lot of money, in that way. But sometimes we ask friends and family, but I would say you must explore. There are many businesses, there are many business people or entrepreneurs who are interested in finding businesses that have potential to make profit. Because the one question that a business person or entrepreneur will ask you, that how are we going to make profit? How are we going to make this money back? They are called angel investors. Some they are called, I forgot now. But it's very important that you approach people who are business minded. And also there are many government institutions that there's a budget placed aside every year for just young people who want to start businesses, from tech shops, from saloons, etc., etc., etc. There's a budget. So you come and you make your, what you call, write your proposal neatly, and you submit to the government institution in how you make profit, and it's like a business plan. And they look at it and they tell you, they invite you, there are many phases, and you explain it to them, you present it to them, secondly. So there's a process involved. But yeah, we can explore the above, options that I've explained. Yes, Julius, thanks.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm really inspired. I'm really motivated with everything, every story in this summit. This was really amazing. So thank you so much, everyone. So actually, we are not going to our summit for today will finish uh in few time, not the time that was expected, because three of our guest speakers, unfortunately, they got sick. Like one from Johannesburg, that her aunt passed away on Saturday, and she messaged me last night telling me about the aunt, and they are going to bury her today. So she couldn't actually present herself today in the summit. She apologized for the inconvenience. The other one, she's actually she's living in the Europe continent. I actually met her on LinkedIn. Also, her child got sick with COVID, unfortunately, so she's facing a lot of pressure, work pressure, and family pressure, and other stuff. So she actually apologized as well for the convenience. And the other one, actually, she said me right now that her network is not good in the laptop, so she's just having technical issues. So unfortunately, also she couldn't present herself. I'm really glad for everyone who made it today. I hope we learned a lot. We learned a lot, and we are motivated from everything that we have learned. I would ask if everyone, whatever you learned today in this summit, if you can apply it and use it in your life, and see after 3 months or after this year of 2021, what will you accomplish? And then one day maybe you will say, okay, this is the story that changed my life. This is how I used to live, and this is how I'm living at the moment, because you never know who inspires you. You never know which story motivates you. So thank you so much. So I'm actually happy also for the presentation that was offered by Smanga for his journey. He started as an entrepreneur who used to sell chips, knickknacks at university. All of us knows how they treat this guy who sell chips, who sell muffins, who sell popcorns at school, how they used to make fun of these people at campus. But now here he is, he's a manager director of his own company. He is here now, the one who is supporting his entire family. So this is really an inspiration. So imagine now for those people who used to laugh at him at campus, now seeing him, he is the one sitting in the office. What if those people come to his office asking for a job? He is the one getting the CVs. He is the one who is saying yes or no, not to employ this person, or yes to employ this person. So I encourage everyone not only to have a career mindset, but also to have a business mindset, especially during this time of uncertainty, this time of pandemic. Many people have lost their jobs, and you can see many people are graduating, but there is no jobs that are being offered to them. So if we can have the mindset, even though you are working, of course, you still need some income that can support you for your future plans, to pay your bills, or anything that can actually you can do in your free time, or when you come back from work. You can even read one page of a book a day, and it can change your life than how it used to be. So thank you so much for those who actually pursuing women in business category in Women Tech Inspire. I think you have been inspired by most of the speakers, because you know now where to go, what to do, especially during this program. You still have 2 months, as our programs is offered a 3-month mentorship and coaching program in Women Tech Inspire. So those who are doing entrepreneurship and digital marketing, now you know the story that you have to take risk, as Tamran said. You have to take risk, and Smanga said. You have to take quality risk that are measured. So, and you have to know what to do and where to go to seek help, network with people, connect with people, find opportunities, and just explore. So that's what I can finalize with in this meeting. If anyone who still have something to say or any question, you can just unmute yourself. Tell us how you feel about this day. What did you learn in this summit? And then after that, we will be able to close our summit for the day. Thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I just want to thank Women Tech for this opportunity. It has been really great. We've learned a lot. Personally, I've learned a lot, from risk taking to quite a lot of things about entrepreneurship and other things. It was really informative. It was really educational. It was really inspiring. And I really hope that from today onwards, we're going to use what we learned today to improve ourselves and become better individuals and really contribute meaningfully towards the global society. I mean, there are a lot of challenges that women are facing, but I really believe if we can stick together and with the help from our fellow women, we can do so much and we can accomplish so much. So I really want to thank you, and I really hope that everyone will be able to do what they plan to do with their lives. And yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nokotemba. Anyone can just unmute yourself and tell us
Hi,
about
everybody.
this meet. Yes. Hello.
Hi, Blonde. I just wanted to say thank you so much for everyone here, and I mean, everyone who spoke today. It was so inspirational and really and so insightful. So thank you very much, and I really just want to wish everyone good luck on all of their endeavors and their challenges ahead. Like, you've got this. And yeah, look to your support systems. LeBlonde, I think you have an amazing thing going here. And I know everyone else who's also who is heading up organizations and NGOs, and even just doing your part in your business. It's just keep going, and you are making a difference. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tamron. Anyone else has something to say before we close our meeting?
Sorry, man. I just had a problem with the mic. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello.
Yes, we can
Oh,
hear you.
beautiful. Wonderful. You asked Smanga a question about entrepreneurship and how people can start facing, and your question was about the financial aspects of things. And he answered very well, I must say. And he did mention this, but I would just like to emphasize starting small. Um, that's one of the challenges that I had. I started very big and my finances weren't equivalent to the project. So start small, even if it takes about 5 to 10 years to get to that big picture, but start small. Look at what you have available. And I like that Smanga was like, I wouldn't advise anybody to take loans because you're not sure if you're going to be able to pay that back. So start small and take it one step at a time. You'll get to it. If friend of mine says if God can trust you with 100 rand, imagine what he can do with 1 million. So start with that 100 rand, start with that 10 rand, and yeah, Smanga spoke about making 100% profit. Start with that 10 rand, make 100% profit, and re-inject it in your business, and it should be able to grow from there. So yeah, starting small is so important. Yeah, that's about it. Otherwise, this was amazing. I feel so inspired. You guys were explosive. So wow, this is good, man. La Blonde, this is this is amazing. This is big. Yeah, man, that's all.
Thank you so much, Blandine. We really appreciate. Anyone else?
Good afternoon, and I don't know if we are all in South Africa this afternoon, but anyway, my name is Letu Shawalala, and I've learned a lot from this summit. And yeah, thanks to the organizers, Women Take Inspire, and yeah, as Manga said, thank you very much for your words, my brother, and from now on, I will not be afraid to use the opportunity when I get it. I've been like procrastinating for such a long time. So now I think I'm just going to take these tools that I got from here and be able to use them. Again, thank you very much. This was awesome. And whoever is not here was like missing out. And I wanted to know, will the presentations be shared on social media, stuff like that? Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. I would really appreciate as we will get the presentations from the speakers and we will be able to share them with the participants.
La Blonde, I just want to
Yes.
find out how can we communicate or get in contact with our speakers? Can we connect with them on LinkedIn? Just like you said, you met them on LinkedIn. Is it possible that to share their contact details with us? Thank you.
Yes. Yes. They can share the contact details. Unfortunately, I couldn't set out my laptop to access the chat for everyone. But if it's possible, they can shout out their LinkedIn names and you can search it out. And also I can also share it in the form. I will send out the form after after the summit, and I will be able to share it with everyone who attended the summit, so you can network with each other and connect with each other on LinkedIn as well. Yes, Fatima.
Yes, La Blonde. I share the same sentiments with the other ones that have spoken. Yeah, it was really like a great opportunity. It was really a great opportunity, and like we really learned a lot. So thank you so much for organizing this event. And yeah, please organize more events like these. Thank you very much, and all the best to everyone in their journeys. Thank you. It was nice meeting and interacting with you all.
Thank you so much, Fatima.
Thank you so much, uh, Juliet and Women's Tech, for Inspire for organizing the summit. It was very insightful and very inspirational. Sometimes when we talk about these things, you don't believe. You really don't be. You really don't believe where you came from. Like, I have so many dreams, and I've learned a lot. I've realized that I have I have to also make some amendments in some of my goals that I want to achieve and acquire in life. And thank you so much, everyone that talked in the summit. I really appreciate it, and I hope uh, uh, my speech with someone learned a little bit of something, because that was my experience. I did not even plan it, but I always talk about this experience wherever I go. That I used to sell the smallest things. The smallest thing, it is 1 rand, and I would make 2 rands from that to one chip, one chips. So and thank you so much, Women's Tech, for organizing this summit. It was very inspiring and very insightful. And also, Juliet, if it's possible, I would also like to communicate with these young, inspirational people. It's very insightful, and we want to learn more from them. And I don't want this to end here. I want this to be some sort of because this is what you call, what's the word? I forgot that word, whereby you communicate with people and you learn a lot from them and you inspire each other going forward. I hope this relationship or this communication does not end here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Smanga. Don't worry, it's not the end, but this is the beginning. And from now, you will be able to communicate with everyone who is here. As I said, I will share actually the LinkedIn profile of everyone to everyone. I'll send a form, and then they will be able to fill up their LinkedIn profile so you can be able to connect with them. And also, we will be hosting events every month, one event and one hackathon every month. So we will be able to connect with each other. So stay in touch, no matter where you are. Just one word I wanted to tell everyone: you never know who you inspire. You never know the story that you tell that can inspire someone else. You can see your story, you think you have not done anything in life, or you can look back and you say, oh, maybe I don't have anything to show, or I don't have anything to tell. But once you reflect, once you tell your story, it becomes an inspiration to someone else, or whether it's in your career development, or whether it's a business story, your success, or whether it's just a journey that you have passed through. So each story, I believe each story is an inspiration to someone, and you never know who you are inspiring, or who you are motivating, or whose life you have changed by deciding to come today in this summit to speak out in what you do. thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone, all the guest speakers. They were just amazing. I just learned everything from all of you, and I also promise that I'll be using everything that I've learned in my journey as well. Let's keep in touch. Let's connect with each other on LinkedIn, as well as keep contact, our email address, and our social media. You can look at Women Tech Inspire on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is just Women Tech Inspire. If you search, is the first one coming up. And you can look for Women Tech Inspire on Twitter, is just Women Tech Inspire. And Facebook, we are all over, and Instagram. And we actually have a YouTube channel as well, but we haven't posted anything on our YouTube, but it will become active during this month and going forward. This summit was really an inspiration to many of us, and I thank everyone, all the attendees, all the speakers, and everyone who managed to reach the end of this summit. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Lablon, for organizing this event. And I would like to thank all the speakers also and for the great insights that we have got today. And looking forward for more events like that. Thank you so much.
All right, everyone. I think we have come to the end of our summit. I would like to wish everyone a happy family day, happy holiday if you are in South Africa, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.